Hello, my name is Elizabeth Comfort, and I am part of the Angier group presentation. And my slide is going to be the slide that focuses on fetal development and the female body. And I'd just like to apologize beforehand if I happen to butcher any of the biological terms or words. So let's jump into it. So, the fetal development involves the processes that determine sexual differentiation. And socially, we learn that women are initially responsible for the avoidance of fetal development through contraceptives. And in embryological terms, we learn that women are seen as the default or neutral sex, while males are viewed as the organized or activated sex. So the discussions between male and female associations in both social settings and the definitions and topics within embryology are the general themes highlighted within Agnier's chapter, The Female Body. These themes relate with course conversations, particularly with the subjects that were focused on in week five's fetal development. During this week, we learned that in accordance to contraceptives, many of these interventions involve actions primarily taken on by the female. Because women bear the brunt of many of the actions, as well as the most direct consequences of inadequately using contraception, social pressures have largely shifted responsibility for contraception onto the women. And we learned that in lecture. So, this idea of associating females as responsible in relation to sexual activities can also overlap with Agnier's biological discussion with females' involvement in fetal development. So, in a basic biological sense, the female is the physical prototype for an effective living being. And through the course material, we learned that the sex chromosomes that determine the sex of the individual come in either X or Y form. And these were remarkably named as such prior to their visualization, where they bear a marked similarity to the letters they were named after. And we learned that in lecture. So this topic can be linked with Agnier's statements about sexual differentiation and how androgens can impact fetal development. Fetuses are pretty much primed to become a female unless the female program is disrupted by gestational exposure to androgens. If not instructed otherwise, the primordial genital buds develop into a vulva and at least a partial vagina. A fetus will grow into a girl in the absence of a surge in fetal hormones, with no need for the impact of estrogen. And this is the hormone we normally think of as the female hormone, Angier claims. So this idea ties into the concept of how females are viewed into developmental biology. The notion of female as default is an intellectual vestige of the male domination of developmental biology. The reason that nobody has found any of the chemical signals that activate the female blueprint is that nobody has looked for them. So from a man's perspective, the mechanism behind the growth of the fallopian tubes simply can't hold the fascination of the recipe for the penis. Just because hormones don't appear to be responsible for female sex determination doesn't mean that nothing is responsible, Angier claims. So these notions are also related with the embryonic establishments of sex. There may be much that we're overlooking in the embryonic establishment of sex. For example, a male fetus's testes release Mullerian inhibiting factor to destroy the primitive ducts that were otherwise would flower into the fallopian tubes, uterus, and vagina. Yet, in addition to her Mullerian ducts, A female embryo possesses until the ninth week of gestation what are called the Wolffian ducts, structures that have the potential to become the seminal vesicle, the epididymitis, and other elements of male anatomy. So, this chapter explored the major themes surrounding the social associations that are linked with both male and females. The chapter analyzes how these associations influence discussions and research in embryology. And these themes are related with the course discussions on fetal development because they expand on how these associations are embedded in embryology. Thank you.